Tucked away from the sprawling wilderness, a lion cub is born. He is small, fragile, and utterly dependent, his eyes still sealed against the world, unaware of the monumental destiny that awaits him. His name is Ron. A name that will one day echo across these plains. But for now, he is just a whisper of life. From his very first breath, the unforgiving world outside demands his strength. Every heartbeat is a victory, every meal a battle won. Around him, the air hums with constant, unseen danger. Hyenas call in the gathering night. Vultures circle the skies with patient eyes, and rival prides patrol the borders, their shadows stretching long in the fading light. Even the smallest predator is a threat. Yet in the profound safety of his mother's side, Ron begins his first days. This hidden den is his entire universe, a sanctuary filled with warmth, nourishing milk, and the steady, reassuring heartbeat of family. Here, he can simply be. He learns first by watching, his mother's patience, his siblings' play fights, the low, thunderous roars of his father echoing across the plains, a sound that stirs something deep within him: pride, power, and promise. As weeks turn to months, Ron stumbles out of the den, paws unsteady but curious. He bites his brother's tail, pounces on his sister, and tumbles through the dust. These games are more than play. They are training for survival, practice for the battles that will define his life. Time moves swiftly on the savannah. Seasons shift, the rains come and go, and Ron, once a tiny cub, grows into a bold adolescent. He begins to test boundaries, wandering farther from his mother, following the older males with awe. Every roar, every scent mark, every scar tells a story he longs to understand. For a young lion, the pride is the entire world, a kingdom of warmth, safety, and belonging. But nature has little mercy for young males who are coming of age. When Ron reaches 2 years old, that world is about to shatter. Change comes not as a whisper, but as a storm gathering on the horizon. The pride's dominant male, his own father, sees not a son, but a future rival. In a sudden, violent act of instinct, he drives Ron and his brothers away. It is nature's brutal, unwritten law, the law of survival, of lineage, of power. A lesson etched into him with the sting of rejection. Exiled, confused, and already hungry, Ron steps into the vast, unforgiving unknown. The safety of his childhood is gone forever. Out here, the days are long and harsh, the nights even harsher. He is a nomad now, a ghost on the plains. Ron learns the difficult rhythm of solitude, scavenging from hyenas, chasing quick-footed gazelles, and losing more often than he wins. Every failed hunt is a lesson in patience. He learns to roar not in play but in defiance, a declaration that he is still here. He learns to walk not in comfort but in constant gnawing hunger. This hardship forges a new strength within him, and in time, that hunger turns to purpose. He is not the only exile. Other young males, cast out like him, wander these same plains. Together, their shared experience creates a bond, a coalition of the dispossessed. Their lonely paths converge, and a new chapter begins. He finds others, young males like himself, driven out, hardened by the wild. Together, they form a coalition. They hunt together, they fight together, and slowly their confidence grows. Ron's mane darkens, his shoulders broaden, and his roar deepens into something that commands attention. He is no longer a cub. He is becoming a king. One dawn, the coalition challenges a pride guarded by 2 aging males. The battle is fierce, roars, dust, claws, and fury. Ron's courage burns brighter than fear. When the fight ends, the old males retreat, defeated and scarred. And Ron stands victorious, his mane stained with the marks of his first conquest. At 3 years old, Ron becomes a ruler. He claims a pride, lionesses, cubs, and a new territory under his command. Life changes. No longer the outcast, he now walks with authority. He patrols the borders each morning, marking his land, warning intruders with his voice that rumbles across the plains like thunder. He hunts side by side with his lionesses, feasting beneath the stars. He mates, fathers cubs, and builds his legacy. In these years, Ron's strength is unmatched. He is the pride's protector, fearless against hyenas, relentless against rivals. When he roars, the savannah listens. For this brief moment in time, he is truly the king. But in nature, every reign has its end. The years begin to weigh on him. His muscles ache from old wounds. His teeth, once sharp and white, now dull and cracked. New roars echo in the distance, younger, stronger males seeking to claim what he has built. At first, Ron answers with fury. He fights to defend his pride, his bloodline, his name. But time does what no rival can. It weakens even the greatest kings. One final battle leaves him broken. The new males take over. The lionesses flee. And Ron, beaten and bleeding, disappears into the tall grass. Days pass. He walks alone once more, just as he did in his youth. But now slower, wearier, with the wisdom of a life fully lived. He no longer hunts. He survives on scraps and waterholes. The pride he once ruled forgets him, as all kings are eventually forgotten. And yet there is peace in his solitude. As the sun sinks below the horizon one final time, Ron lies beneath an acacia tree. The great patriarch, now weary and frail, has chosen his final resting place. The savannah, which bore witness to his entire life, now prepares to embrace him in his last moments. The sky burns gold and red, a spectacular, silent tribute. These are the same colors that once lit his magnificent mane in victory, the same hues that painted the sky on the day he was born. It is a fitting farewell from the heavens themselves. He breathes deeply, the savannah's air filling his lungs one last time. It is a scent he knows intimately, the smell of dry earth, sweet grass, and distant rain. A lifetime of memories is carried on that single breath. He has lived as few creatures ever will, born to lead, to fight, to protect, to reign. Every scar on his weathered face tells a story of a battle won, a territory defended, a family protected. His was a life of purpose, etched into the very landscape around him. His amber eyes, which once held the fire of a king, now grow heavy. They close, and for him, the world grows quiet. The sounds of the savannah fade into a peaceful silence. The wind passes through the tall grass, whispering his story back to the earth. It speaks of his strength, his ferocity, and the quiet dignity with which he ruled. Ron's journey, from a helpless, dependent cub to a powerful, undisputed king, ends as all great stories of nature do, in perfect, profound balance. His body will return to the soil, feeding the very land that fed him. In death, he gives back the life he took, completing the sacred circle that governs all things. But his true immortality is not in memory alone. His cubs and their cubs will carry his legacy through the generations. His bloodline is a river, flowing onward through time. For though the king is gone, his spirit remains. It lives on in every defiant roar that echoes across the plains, a timeless declaration of presence and power. Ron's life reminds us that physical strength is not eternal, that all reigns must come to an end. But it also shows us that courage, even in the face of time's relentless march, is timeless. This is the story of Ron, the lion who lived, fought, ruled, and died as a king. His legend is now one with the savannah, forever a part of its soul.